Hello, I'm Brian Rose, the founder of Biohackers United, and today I wanted to talk about what I'm passionate about and a follow-up video about the human vibrational energy. And today we're gonna take a deep dive into the longevity equation, which I truly believe that is the key to longevity. So what I want to do is go over the fundamentals and take a deep dive into the longevity equation. And as you can see, the longevity equation is simply F equals 1 over T. It's a simple, eloquent formula, but looking at the formula itself, when we talk about frequency is defined by your body's vibrational frequency. So everybody has their own body's vibrational frequency that can be measured, and a healthy body resonates between 62 and 70 megahertz. So looking at the longevity equation, hertz is the number of cycles that occur in 1 second. The goal of the longevity equation is to maintain the highest vibrational frequency for as long as possible as you age. So what happens and why this is so important is as your vibrational energy, as it drops below 58 megahertz, that's when chronic conditions set in. So as you age, your natural vibrational energy starts to drop about 2% per year. Now, the longevity equation was originally created by George Van Tassel. George Van Tassel, he was a inventor, a pilot. He worked for Douglas Aircraft, Hughes Aircraft, and Lockheed. Now, George Van Tassel, he created the organization that's called the Ministry of Universal Wisdom. He also built the Integratron, which is a structure for scientific research specifically to extend human life. Now, it was based on Nikola Tesla's research and documentation. The Integratron basically was a building that recharges and would regenerate people's cells as they walk through the building itself. So it would basically be like when you're charging your cell phone, but the building structure itself would recharge your body's vibrational energy as you walk through it. Here's an actual picture of the building that you can find down in Southern California. It was a domed wooden structure that had a metal apparatus on the outside. They were called the electrostatic diodes, which you can see in the photograph, that are spaced throughout the center of the building itself, and they actually would spin around the building itself, creating the electrostatic energy as you would walk through the building. Now, what's also fascinating is the building itself is built from wood, concrete, glass, and fiberglass. So it didn't have any metal as part of the building itself, no screws or nails. And what happened was, as they increased the vibrational energy through the electrostatic being generated by the diodes, you could walk through the electrostatic field itself, which would recharge and rejuvenate your body's energy. So, looking at some of the past examples, some things that you can incorporate into your own life to increase your vibrational energy, some of it would be pretty self-explanatory. The number one thing that you can do on a daily basis is high intensity training, which can include sports such as tennis, racquetball, running, and cycling. The other thing that's crucial is sleep, which I talk about on a regular basis. It basically allows your biological batteries to recharge. Then you can get into meditation. Meditation is actually crucial when it comes to increasing your body's vibrational energy, because what happens is when you go into deep meditation and you get into the state which is called theta, over years of meditation can increase it, and it has a reciprocal relationship with gamma brain waves. So what they found with Tibetan monks when they did a brain scan is from years of meditation, when they were actively alert, they were in a state of gamma brain waves. Now, what is so important about gamma brain waves is when you're in that state of higher frequency, it ranges between 30 to 100 hertz. But when it occurs, the left and right hemisphere of the brain synchronizes. So when it synchronizes, you're in a higher state of consciousness. Another thing you can do, which I've tried, is if you get a chance to go down to one of the Biohackers World Conferences, check out the PEMF mats. It's electromagnetic pulse frequency that when you lie on the mat, it increases your body's vibrational frequency through magnetic resonance. Now, you could build your own Integratron. You can find the schematics online. I truly hope that somebody goes out and can rebuild and create the Integratron. When George Van Tassel died in 1978, they went in and they confiscated all the electric equipment inside the Integratron down in Southern California. So they confiscated all his papers, all his research, and all the equipment he had. But this can all be recreated. The final thing, and if you watch some of my previous videos, I talk about the high frequency oscillators that were created by Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, I know he's really famous as an inventor for his work with electricity, but he also created a health device that was used to treat Mark Twain, and it was a mechanical oscillating device that would increase Mark Twain's vibrational frequency, which helped him with chronic digestion issues. Now, other ways you can measure your vibrational frequency on a regular basis. One is to measure your VO2 max. Second device is the Zyto hand cradle, which I'll show you a picture of. And then you can measure your body's bioluminescence. And I've got a paper going into the health benefits of looking at your body's bioluminescence, because the humans themselves are bioluminescent, just like some of the jellyfish or what you see in the ocean that illuminate light, which actually can be measured. And then the final way, which I did when I was down at the Biohackers World Conference down in Miami, is the Thera Wellness Vitalizer device. So if you're a fan of Star Trek, in Star Trek, Dr. McCoy would use the tricorder and he would do a scan the human body. And basically the scan of the human body, it would tell him what the diagnosis was and would use the vibrational energy. But it was a device that was used and shown in Star Trek, but nowadays we have similar devices that you can use today. Like I mentioned, the Thera Wellness Vitalizer basically scans your entire body and it comes back with different frequency resonance of different body parts, from your bones to your joints to your gut microbiome to you could look at the spine, because when I did my body scan, it could tell that there was a spinal compression within the L4, L5 region. It also showed that I'd been exposed to microtoxins. So the Thera Wellness Vitalizer is equipment that you can use to check your body's vibrational frequency, but it can also provide a whole body scan similar to what they were using in Star Trek. Now, a similar device which I've also used is the Zyto hand cradle. The Zyto hand cradle, basically you just rest your hand on top of the hand cradle itself, and it sends pulse energy through the body that scans the body's vibrational frequency. And like I was mentioning before, every organ has its own signature frequency. So the Zyto hand cradle measures what is in resonance or out of resonance, and it tells you what particular issues of the body might be like having either chronic issues, or there's something that you need to take specific attention to. Now, here's an example of the PEMF, the pulse electromagnetic field therapy. There's different devices. The one I'm showing you is the high powered vibrational frequency. When I laid on this mat when I was at the biohacking conference, you could literally feel the magnetic field and the magnetic frequency pulsating through the body, like directly through the entire body itself. Now, they have different PEMF mats that you can purchase, which use a lower magnetic frequency that's a little more gentler, that you can use at home. The one that you're looking at typically ranges between $16,000 to $20,000, and it's extraordinarily effective, but it's very expensive. So one of the key measures when you're increasing your vibrational energy, which you can use on a daily basis, is tracking your VO2 max. I purchased the Garmin watch previously, but specifically with the Garmin watch, it has a VO2 max indicator. So like I was saying before, as you age, your vibrational energy actually declines. So looking at your VO2 max and then adjusting your workouts and increasing your VO2 max as high as you can, and definitely as high as you can for your age group, will help extend longevity. I truly believe that the key to longevity for the human race is vibrational energy. I think once more people are looking into the different devices and start to look at the research that goes back to Nikola Tesla and some of the modern devices that we have now that can scan the entire body, it's truly, I believe, the path to modern medicine, which hasn't really been looked at. But I hope this video helps explain the longevity equation a little more in detail. But let me know if you have any thoughts, questions in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.